So this was a bit of a conundrum. I'm having a lot of technical difficulties off of YouTube for my desktop. For some reason, it is not showcasing that my webcam is there, even though it's clearly plugged in. But hey, who cares about that? So I quickly had to come up with a alternative. So we made a mobile version real quick, and that is the case. So right now we are going to do a mobile live stream. So you don't get the crisp audio out of the beautiful, just incredible Yeti microphone we have right here. You're gonna have to deal, unfortunately, for right now. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm not entirely sure how long we'll run this stream because it's kind of messed up now with people thinking there's one stream going on, then there's another. So we'll let this go on for a little bit, see if people come, but it might end up being a flop, unfortunately, due to that. So we'll give this a couple of minutes for people to come on in, if people are going to come on in. And yeah, how's everyone's day going today? Is everyone having a good old time? My time was kind of stressful for the last 5 minutes trying to figure this out, but we should be good now. How's it going, Mad Chris? How you doing today? I'm going to be reading comments off the computer. It's just easier than trying to read chat off the phone. It gets kind of annoying. But yeah, so let me know what everyone's doing in the comments section, and we'll get this thing started in a little bit. Got some exciting stuff to talk about, the Gecko room and our Tokay Geckos, which is going to be a very exciting thing. We're actually going to be just redesigning this entire Gecko room because, well, I've been thinking about a couple of things. We'll talk about that in a little bit for sure. Just want to make sure a couple people get in before we before we get started. There we go. All right, that should work fine. All right, we got 5 people in here. I'm gonna give it just a couple more minutes. I know you guys can. This is a really weird. I don't know how to position my phone to make it just a little bit better. You know, you guys get that clear, amazing example of my home improvement skills, trying to build a fake wall for as little amount of money as possible, and I think I succeeded. I spent an average of $7 to make that bad boy exist, and I'm very proud of my work, very proud of it. I think I did a very fantastic job getting that all in there, but yeah, let's see if we can get any more people in here. I don't know, not too sure about this stream, this whole YouTube not recognizing my webcam really threw me off. I was a little bit messed up now. Hello, is there something wrong with the chat? It has been lagging behind a bit. I hope something's wrong with the chat because I'm not getting very many. You and Chris were the only ones. That's a little bit better. You can nice to see my face a little better. I'm just trying to like angle it so it's not. Oh, dude, I have a fucking genius idea. Oh my god, hang on. Watch this. You guys ready for this? Boom. I'll just lean down a little bit. Let me guys know if the chat's working or anything like that. We're not getting too much stuff going on. Mad Mutts, how was your day? My day's been pretty good. It's a little bit stressful. We've been moving quite a few geckos. Everything you guys see here is new projects. Everything down there is new projects. We've got one new project over on that side, and we also have a new pet animal that is very, very exciting. I'm super stoked about that animal. That one's chilling over in the actually in the living room. It's more of a like social pet, so we keep it over there where we can hang out with it, just like with the birds and things of that nature. So we got a bunch of stuff going on. I believe, let's count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 new animals right now, and we are getting 6 more coming in on Tuesday. So that gives us a grand total of just under 20 new animals over here at DBCB Exotics. Very, very interesting. I can't believe that. Actually thinking about it, I was like, wow, yeah, we did get a lot of new animals in. Really excited though, dude. We're really hitting this gecko thing up to the max, and it's going to be some good stuff. I'm really excited to show you guys. We've been getting a lot of stuff into the fact I think I'm going to start doing the unboxing reveals twice a week instead of once a week, because we actually, for the Vlogmas, December BS, we actually won't have enough time to it'll go further. So I think the next unboxing we're going to showcase is going to be on Sunday. We'll do another one on like Wednesday and then Friday until we finally clear up all these things, because it's kind of clogging up my memory card with all these different videos that I have to shuffle, like which video goes to which thing. So I kind of want to get them all out so I can clear my memory card and have just fresh stuff in there instead of like all these different logs of unboxing geckos. Mossy geckos are amazing. I can't wait to produce them. Yeah, I'm really excited to be working with the Chihuahuas. The Chihuahuas are probably, I'd say the Chihuahuas are my favorite project that we got, my favorite new project that we got. I've really been hitting hard with the New Caledonian stuff. We've been doing very well with crested geckos over the past years. We've had good luck with the gargoyles, then we kind of had a bad luck over in 2021. But we're going to move that over. Oh, no, there are two more. Oh, no, there's three. Okay, 21 new animals will be coming. The other 3 are coming a little bit later in the year, probably the spring. I don't want to mess with those. It's getting a little too cold now, and they're on hold. Your boy looks like big bucks getting all these projects. I'm running a little low on cash, so I decided to just do a hold on some of these projects and slowly pay them off in the springtime when we're able to sell animals again. Not selling animal parts really hurts me pretty hard, not only with like bills and stuff, but it's hard to get new collections when I'm just relying on YouTube, super chats, and the Patreon, stuff like that. It's really what I rely on for the next, December, January, February, and part of March. So 4 months to get me through. It's a hard time. Probably should save some money, but go big or go home. If we can survive, survive the 4 months of cold, we're going to have a very exciting 2022 year. So I figured I'm a guy that likes to roll the dice. We got some big risks, but let's see if they pay off. We'll figure it out. Just mind with chewies, if you get PI, not mainland, they can be just as bad as lychees when pairing. I recall you saying that was something you're concerned about. I have been reading a lot about the Pine Island versus mainland stuff, and it really comes to see, like, I kind of compare it to like jungle carpet pythons, where like it's so difficult in this day and age. Like, yeah, it was really exciting back then in the early when we started importing Pine Island Chihuahuas. They were different, but they've been so mixed that like it's kind of just word of mouth. Like, is a Pine Island really a Pine Island? Like, you're kind of just going by the guy's word of mouth of saying like, yeah, this is a Pine Island or this is a mainland. So it was just some food for thought I've been looking at. Where like, kind of like with jungle carpets, like there's no way you can physically tell if a jungle carpet python is 100% pure blood jungle carpet python. And there's been facts with the jungle carpet community where there's been jungle carpets, 100% pure jungle carpets sold for years and years. All of a sudden the guy realizes, oh no, a coastal was paired in this 5 years prior to the baby that I sold. So it turns out for the past, 12 years, I've been selling these pure-blooded jungles. None of them have been purebred. And then those purebred jungles were breeding. Everything just seems a little muddy. So I don't know. That was kind of like my rant. I'm not sure what I have. I forgot. I honestly forgot to look at it. I don't really care if they're Pine Island or mainland. I don't know. I'm one of those assholes that really doesn't give a shit about locality. If it's a good-looking gecko, it's a good-looking gecko. So I'll find out for the Chihuahua assholes that are like, I want mainland. No. Sorry, Pine Island. People want the Pine Islands. Mainlands are trash. Only Pine Island. So I'll make sure I get the diagnostic of which actual locale they are. But the good-looking geckos, that's really all I care about. I'm thinking mainland because I don't see very much coloring on the collars of the geckos. So I think they're mainland, but I can go double check. It's not a big deal. I can just do that real quick. Yeah, but to get to the original thing, yeah, they can be a little bit aggressive. We got a spare enclosure if anything goes wrong during breeding season, things of that nature. We've had some nasty breedings in the past with various other stuff that needs to be treated, so I'm no stranger to rough breeding practices, or not right breeding practices per se, but the courtship that happens between reptiles. So we're prepared for it. We've got all the little, medications and, first aid, stuff like that on standby for when something or if something does go wrong. What's your favorite morph of Tegu? I don't know if it's I mean, the blue ice albino tegus look fucking rad. I like blues in general. The only thing I don't like about blues is the burnt nose. The little, you know, they have like that burnt snout looking thing. It's like dark right on the nose. I don't really like that about that. I think my favorite, like, it's not so much of a morse, but a mix of locales. I believe it's produced by Jesse's Jungles. I believe he calls them all American tegus. It's a oh geez, I think it's a either a 50% Chicoan. It's either 50% Chicoan or 50% red, and then just swap that. So I'm just going to say 50% red plus 25% Chicoan plus 25% blue. It makes these absolutely magnificent looking animals that really have like all the colors into one Tegu. That was actually what I was going to get. That was going to be my first Tegu, was one of Jesse's All-American Tegus. However, he had a bad clutch that year and he wasn't able to produce any, and actually went for Greg Power over at DYN Animals. I went with his high white line of his black and whites, and we ended up getting Hobbs. Which, who knows, man? You know, maybe if I just stuck it out with Jesse, maybe things would be a lot different. But I made the choice, and we have Hobbs here. A lot different, but holy shit! And we have Hobbs. A lot different, but holy shit! And we have Hobbs. A lot different, but holy shit! Okay. I have the chat log up, and it opened up the video, and I guess I hit something and it started going. Jesus, that was loud. So yeah, I think to answer your question, that is my that's my favorite Tegu morph. I'm pretty sure you're saying show us one of your reptiles. We didn't spell it right, so I refuse. You might care if they rip each other's faces off, as I know it's happened with a couple of people. I don't personally care. I keep mainland anyway. Yeah, I know when you get, even once you start getting, yeah, I guess lychees are like the most aggressive, and then chihuahuas are still pretty bad, but you got to think like gargoyles aren't like any walk in the park either. There's been many documented cases of gargoyle geckos scalping each other, things of that nature. So I don't know. It's not like I'm like unaware. Like I understand chihuahua breeding, and any of the further up you go in the New Caledonian chain, it gets pretty rough, and you just got to keep an eye out for it. In the last unboxing, you said something about more geckos. We got geckos on geckos, my guy. I don't know if you just showed up. I think we've got 22 different geckos coming in the next couple of months. The majority of them we already have. It's literally this entire shelf is new projects, and that one's getting filled on Tuesday. But then that's a new project. That's a new project. That's a new project. That's a new project. We got another new stuff going on over there, and we got something hanging out in the living room. So we got a lot of stuff going on. It's good stuff. I'm very excited. Thomas. Oh, Reptiville. Yeah, Reptiville's pretty cool. I have taking a quick look at it. I've been so busy. Yeah, Thomas, thank you so much for the super chat. Let me I gotta get into my spiel. I forgot about my spiel. So let me do that real quick. And Thomas is a great segue into it. So we got Thomas for $5. As always, folks, super chats are not a requirement, but I do greatly appreciate it. This is my spiel that I'm about to go into. Super chats are not a requirement, although I do greatly appreciate it. All the proceeds that come into super chats go straight into the animals and not into my pocket whatsoever. You see, I got no fancy watches, and my necklace is simply an old attic key. Very nice. I am not one for bling. Right now, we are trying to get all new PVC enclosures, and we are actually going to be talking about those PVC enclosures in a bit. We've been running this for a couple of months now. We've got 2 enclosures secured, and we are working on a third one right now. So those PVC enclosures are costing, I believe, $120 to get them shipped over. So I do this fun little thing where if you guys super chat, any of your super chats in this live stream will go to the PVC enclosure. You'll get your little name. I'll put your guys' name all over the PVC enclosure, so it'll be like, a little sponsored type of enclosure. And yeah, so we are also going to up the stakes a little bit on that. So that's usual spiel. Last time, if we do hit that 120 mark, I showed you guys that project right there. That was the standing eyes. You guys got a quick peek at that before I actually showed the unboxing video. And so this time, I'll up the stakes a little bit because we have way too many new projects. If we hit the 120 threshold for the PVC enclosure, I will showcase two not one, but an inside look on 2 new Gecko projects. You guys get to choose. You can either choose that one, or that one. Those are the 3 options you guys can choose. You guys can choose 2 out of the 3 if we do hit that $120 threshold. But yeah, Thomas, thank you so much for kicking that off with the $5. Reptilebuild.com. Check it out. It's a reptile website that this guy is that this guy has built. It's a pretty cool place. You guys should check it out. I brought a... There it is. Yeah. What's the largest breed of gecko? Largest breed of gecko is the Leachianus gecko. Biggest gecko you can get. Second runner-up is the Tokay gecko. I believe it's either the second or third, because now I'm looking at, like, you know, mossy-tailed geckos. The giant mossy tails get pretty... Oh, Thomas, coming in again. Thank you so much for the $20, man. Hang on. Thomas for $20. Thank you, my man. I really do appreciate it. All right, $20. Get everyone, check out Reptilebuild.com. He keeps throwing me money. I feel like I gotta do, yeah, Reptilebuild.com. It's right up there. This is the part where I wish I did the OBS stream so we could, like, check out Reptilebuild.com instead of me just talking. But it seems a lot more people show up when I just do, like, a webcam only stream. So I don't know. Anyway, back to what we were at. So it's got to be either Tokay's or the mossy tail, the giant mossy leaf tail with the crazy eyes. I don't know which one's bigger, because it's always been said Tokay's are the second largest, but the mossies get pretty big as well. So either or, but the biggest has to be the Leachianus, both in size and length. I do believe they get longer than any other gecko. Oh, no Bimsons right now. No Bimsons, Brad, unfortunately. It's we're doing webcam only streams, unfortunately. I don't know, YouTube bumps it up further so more people get to watch, although it's pretty slow today. Last week we had like 30 people in. So it's talking to Layla's comment. It's a bit of a double-edged sword. So the ball python project, here's my train of thought when I was thinking about this, because I did take a lot of thought before I decided to do this. So the ball python project was really going nowhere. You guys were not interested in the ball pythons. I still have 7 ball pythons that I cannot sell. I have no interest in them whatsoever. And doing it again for another year and then possibly tripling that, getting like 20 ball pythons that no one would want, just seemed like it seemed like a lost cause to me. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like not only was the ball python project my most expensive overhead project into feeding, cleaning, making sure everything's good. It's my toughest project to make sure the locks and everything were good, whereas geckos, it makes my life a little bit easier. You guys just didn't show any interest in them either. So it really came to a fact of I don't really want to continue doing the ball pythons if it's just not going to get me anywhere, you know? I wasn't very passionate about it. I really lost a lot of passion over the year when I had to start feeding live and just all the pain in the ass that comes with keeping ball pythons. So it really it wasn't for me. I tried it out. I thought I was going to be into it. I loved the genetics behind it, but it just wasn't for me. So that obviously lost a little bit of money for us. That was a couple of $1,000s off of that project that we were not making. Obviously, with a move, especially a move to North Carolina, you're talking moving equipment, down deposit, all the deposits you need to get electricity, water going, things of that nature, moving equipment, the truck, the rental, all this stuff costs a lot of money. So it was a choice of either, it was a choice of either, like, is it going to be more of a pain in the ass to move all of these animals? Probably. It probably is, yes. But at the same time, I still need to make money in 2022 to afford all the things I need to move. So I wanted to play it as a safer bet of, well, with this stuff, I can make more money to make my life with moving just a little bit more easier. Well, yes, it'll be a little bit more in pain in the ass to move all these geckos. At the end of the day, they are geckos. You know, most of them are about this big. The enclosures are about that big. Moving with PVC will make my life a lot easier as well, because PVC enclosures are so lightweight comparatively speaking to all the glass that we've been using so far. So Yeah, it'll make my life a little bit more difficult in the physical department, actually attempting the move, but it's going to make my life a lot more easier cash-wise, so know that I'll have enough money, potentially enough money. I mean, I could fuck up and none of these geckos will go and I just screwed myself. But hopefully we do right. Hopefully I get it all done, and it'll just make my life a little bit more easier financially to be able to afford all the necessities we're going to need to make sure that all these animals are moved safely and sounding without worrying about any cost-wise things. Oh, Sycorays are Sycoray. I don't know actually how to pronounce it. Sycoray, mossy leaf geckos, and Fants are also cool. I like the Europlatyces. I've heard. I was really interested in these Satanic leaf tails. I can never remember the Latin names. I suck with the Latin names. I can never. But I was really interested when they first started coming abroad and when they were becoming a little bit more popular. This was back when they were like $700. Maybe you can get $900 for a pair of babies. They were really interesting, but as I read more, I heard the babies are really hard to get acclimated into captivity and get them like going. So I kind of went away from the Europlatus stuff just because I didn't want to deal with heavy or just difficult to start up babies. Tokays are the best. Tokays are the best. That's 100% sure. We'll talk about. Let me clear chat and let's talk about the Tokay geckos in the Gecko room. I feel like Tokay is probably way more than gigs, but are not stock. Oh, Giganticus. Yes, that is a. Okay, I thought that was a misspelling, but it's abbreviation for. That's what they're called. Europlatus giganticus. I could sound like a total jackass right now. I don't know. How's it going, MAM Exotics? It's yeah, the genes are really the only thing that what has ball pythons going for them. And personally, for me, just wasn't enough to keep me interested in the project. I need the animals, not only the project itself to be interesting, but I need the animals to be interesting too, especially with all the work it takes to get the ball pythons good and ready to go. And then, you know, all the maintenance stuff you need to do and feeding. I need the animal to be interesting, and they just weren't, man. Those were the most boring stuff I've ever worked with. Ball pythons were just not fun. They're just not a fun animal to work with, in my opinion. I need stuff to be fun and kind of exciting. You know, Tokays, Tegus, Argus monitors. Ball pythons just were not it for me. So I ended up saying goodbye to them. Yeah, I would say I'm like a little bit sad, but you know, in all honesty, I just I don't know why, man. I was so excited for the project in the beginning, but as it kept going, I think the live feeding really did it for me. Having to feed live rats really disassociated me from the project because I held such like negative attributes to it because ball pythons just equal rat death in my mind for all that amount of time I had to do it, and it just became more of a daunting thing than something I was excited to do. So I think that was like the big heavy hitter. You know, I'm absolutely love rats. We still are breeding rats just because I'm having so much fun with it. There's something more adorable than a fucking little adorable, you know, rat baby. We're working with rat genetics. We're making like right now we're doing like albino hood Dumbos. We got some Russian blues. We got hoods. We got stripes. We've got albino hoods. So we're doing like a bunch of rat stuff right now just for fun. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I actually have a lot of rats I need to figure out something to do with. But yeah, I like the rats. I didn't like the ball pythons as much. And that should tell you everything that you need to know. Are going to be the next big thing. What is with everyone with the Latin words, man? What happened? As I grow more on YouTube, everyone starts using Latin words with me. I don't know the Latin. I'm sorry. Boas, though. Boas being the next big thing. I don't think anything that's live bearing will be the next big thing because it's just such a pain in the ass. Yeah, live reading. It's so annoying. I get like a pain in my chest every time I had to feed. And as we did more and more with rats and we wanted to experiment with rat mutations, it became that much harder because it wasn't just regular albino rats. It was like, okay, which mutation I have 5 hoods, so I guess I got to feed off most of these hoods because we don't need that many hoods. It just became really difficult. It was hard, man. It really was. Yeah, I'm with you guys. Geckos all the way. We're going to be majority, like 90% geckos over here at DVCB Exotics, at least for quite a while. We might branch off to other stuff as North Carolina becomes a thing, but until then, we are sticking with like 90% geckos and some large lizards, of course, as well. Yeah, I don't know about the green-eyed geckos. Renee's been talking about them, but they're just kind of like they require just the same amount of space as a Tokay and all the needs of a Tokay, but I can't really do much with them. It's just another green-eyed gecko. I don't know. It's just not something. Maybe in the future, but for now, I'm just kind of holding off on the whole green-eyed ones. All right, fans are satanic. I have not looked at the Europlatus line in so long, so I am really rusty with all of that stuff. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I heard they're super fragile, and I heard the babies are really hard to get up and going. Yeah, even CP Europlatus can be a nightmare. It's just something I didn't want to deal with. Anything super fragile and delicate, I don't want any part of right now. Dakota, I would love the new series Know Before You Buy on the... Oh, okay, before you buy it on Red Eye Tree Frogs. It's difficult. My frog content never does well, and YouTube's in a lull right now as it is, so I don't know. I might do it in the future, but as far as like recent, like the new ones, I'm gonna kind of stay away from frogs, unfortunately, which maybe I will do the red-eyed tree frog just because it is a species that I don't think a lot of people should get into because they, just like Europlatus, I think red-eyed tree frogs are my most sensitive and fragile species. Yeah, I mean, they're just pet rocks. Ball pythons are kind of really lame. I'm just going to put it all out there. I don't know. You think you'll ever consider breeding other snakes or just sticking to geckos? If so, what species are you interested in? I don't think I'll do any snakes. The more I think about it, the more I think about it, and the more I've really thought about what the future DBCB exotics looks like, I don't think snakes play any part. I've never really been that much of a snake guy. I've really levitated towards, or I've been pulled more towards geckos and lizards, especially the larger lizards. Like, I would much rather have monitor lizards than the large reticulated or large constrictors in general. So I don't think breeding snakes is going to be a real thing here. We might get, I don't even like pet snakes. I'm just not that interested in. I think for the space that a retic or a Burmese python would need, I would much rather utilize that space for a larger monitor, more quinces, blue-tailed monitors is a species I really want to get into. Of course, Asian water monitors in the future. It's just snakes just take up a lot of space, and I don't know. In my personal opinion, and just stuff that I personally like, there's cooler stuff I can utilize that space for. I will make the reptile hobby great again. We do rats are fun too. I like the rats, dude. I'm having a blast with the rats. When we sold off the ball pythons, I didn't know what to do with the rats, but I think I'm gonna keep them. I might just sell them for like wicked, like stupid cheap, like cheaper than anyone, like $1 a rat, just so I can just to get rid of the stock, so I can just keep messing around with rat mutations and having like rat babies. I'm gonna crash the rat market over here in New England because I'm gonna be an asshole just because I want to work with rats. I find the babies easier than the adults. Just lost an adult female for no reason, but never lost a baby. Europlatyses, man, love them and hate them. Yeah, you are not selling Europlatus to me. I don't think Europlatyses are on the dish here at DBCB Exotics. But cool, I really like the Europlatyses. You know, I'm talking shit about them, how difficult they are, but I really like the Europlat. I love the look of all of them. We might, okay, so I don't know if Renee's listening. If you are listening, haha, you got an early surprise that I don't know when I'll be able to do this. I do want to get the giant leaf mossy tail. It's been a dream reptile for Renee for a very long time, and I do want to make that dream happen with her. Obviously, they're a little expensive, and money's a little tight, but I think once we move to North Carolina, I do want to make that dream come true for her and get her one of the giant leaf-tailed geckos. She really loves them. It'd be awesome to do just a very large bioactive jungle-themed vivarium and get her one of those. So as soon as we start making up a little bit more cash over here at DBCB Exotics, I do want to do that for her. I think she'd be really excited for that. All right, Brad, did you say green-keeled bellied lizards because Brian Barczyk showcased a pair? Because I've literally never heard anyone talk about green-keeled bellied lizards until Brian Barczyk got a pair of them. They're cool. I like them. I like the neon greens. Maybe in the future. Who knows? This is the most honest conversation. Yeah, I'm not a ball python guy anymore, so I'll trash on ball pythons all day, dude. I actually might, now that I'm out of ball pythons, I might make a ball python video about like the reality of breeding ball pythons or something along those lines. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot harder than you think. A lot of people in the industry with ball pythons really make it out to be a lot simpler, and I kind of came in with that mindset. But not only the breeding aspect is a lot more difficult than you make it, because you think like everyone can do ball python, so it must be easy. It's not. It's wicked. It's way more easier to breed. 50% of the gecko products I have right now are way easier than doing ball pythons. But not only that, just the maintenance aspect and everything that goes along with that. Getting babies started is such... Getting these baby ball pythons transition from live to frozen is such a giant pain in the ass, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Not only will they refuse frozen when they first get out of the egg. Obviously, like 90% of ball pythons will never take frozen right off the bat. They need a specific rodent. You can't do rat pinkies. They won't eat rat pinkies. They want mice. But the mice has to be a certain size. They also won't eat a mouse that is too small. It needs to have a little bit of fur on it, so a fuzzy to a hopper. So I have to drive a 2-hour round trip to get these fucking mice because my mice won't breed. It's been months, and I, for some reason, cannot get these mice to breed. Oh my god, it's been hell with these ball pythons. I don't like them. Oh god. You ever check your messages? I do. It's more along the lines of when I have time to answer, and depending on like what the question is, if it's something I can quickly answer, I'll do it. But if it's like a long-winded question, most of the time, I'll be completely honest with you. Most of the time, I save it for later when I have more time, and then it gets so like a lot of people message me, so your message will fall down, and I lose track of it. So if that's the case, just message me again, and I can try to PM you back. Can monitor lizards and alligators breed? The body design looks similar. What are we talking about, guys? You want to breed alligators and monitor lizards? No. No. My dream gecko is a lychee. It was a really tough choice on whether I wanted to do chihuahuas or lychees. I had the cash to do one project, and I wanted lychees, but lychee seemed a little bit more difficult. The females seem to be a little bit more picky choosy with what male they want, and I don't have the funds available to get multiple males and multiple females. I really only had enough to do a pair or a trio. So I ended up with chihuahuas. If we get these chihuahuas going and we get some babies from them, we're able to sell babies. Lychees are next on the list. We'll get some babies to grow out. It'll be a good time. Because Brian Barczyk said so. Probably not a Uromastic. They just don't do it for me. They're cool. I'm not shitting on Uromastics. I think Uromastics are cool. Just not for me. The lizards are better than snakes. Yeah, lizards are better than snakes. That's just straight facts. Any advice on tattoos? I want to start a reptile sleeve on my forearm. Have money. Get a good artist, actually. I see so many shit tattoos out here, especially for people that are getting reptile tattoos. Find a good artist. It costs a lot of money. I think this sleeve was I think this sleeve was $4,000. My chest was just under $1,000. My head cost me $700. Face was easy. I think face was a couple hundred. Yeah, just get a good artist. Wait the year it takes to get in, because you're just gonna have a better experience. Obviously, you're gonna have these on you for like the rest of your life, and you want them to look good. You want to have decent tattoos. Even like this cover up is pretty good, but there wasn't a lot you could do because there was such a shit tattoo right here. Same with my chest. I had like this shitty Grim Reaper that you really can't do much with. So get it right the first time, because cover ups are difficult and they hurt more. Yeah, how's it going, Alex? Says Agamet. Alex is cool. He does Chinese water dragons, if anyone did not know. Oh, you're messaging me on... Don't message me on Discord. I don't know how Discord works. I at all. Message me on Instagram or Facebook. I do not go on Discord nearly as often. I never look at messages I get over there. I don't blame it. Yeah, lychee seem to be hard to breed. That's going to be one of the projects where I think it's worth it just because Leachianuses are so cool. What? Oh, shit. Ugh. There. I forgot to plug in my PC. Like I have the charger plugged in, but I never plugged it back into the laptop. Yeah, I hear a lot about that. About females, like it's real rough with lychees, so it's something you really got to take into consideration. But lychees are awesome. We obviously, if you're a gecko guy, you gotta do Leachianus. There's no way you can't do Leachianus if you're like full on geckos. I've been seeing a lot of like Richie recently. I've seen him getting some babies, getting some good stuff over there. So we'll do lychees in the future. Probably not this year. I'm probably actually not going to get any more geckos this year. Just the stuff I've already paid for, and that's coming in. But as far as like throughout, yeah, Matt, you just messaged me, and I just got it, so I'll like check that out a little bit later. Probably nothing more in 2022. I think we're going to play it safe. We're going to make the move happen. And then 2023, we might get some grow out Leachianus babies, and it'll just be like a long-term project. Hello. A week already? That was fast. I enjoy your live streams. Hey, how's it going, Pet Sonics? Pet Sonics is pretty cool. They did a pretty big super chat last time. What was it? It was $20. Yeah, I really appreciate that last live stream, man. Yeah, been a week. I'm just doing weekly Friday live streams for the month of December. Tips on transporting all my geckos from California to North Carolina in February. Okay, here's my strat. I'm gonna give you guys a little in-depth scoop on what I'm planning to do. So we have a lot of animals, and I'm not gonna put my grand plan, okay? So we have 2 cars, 1 box truck. Enclosures, box truck. Furniture, all that shit, box truck. I'm going to bin everything we have here, bins or snake bags / pillowcases. We're going to put that in the back seat. So everything will be, all the reptiles will be in the back seat. We're going to put them in one of those Mondo bins, right? The big boys. We'll get air filtration, and I'll put a couple of heat packs in there, depending on the time of year. Maybe I'll do phase 22 to make sure it's a good, steady temperature. We'll be doing that. That'll sit in the back seat. Birds will be in the front seat. The next car will have the dogs, cat, and bunny in that seat. And it's just going to be a hell of a drive. Oh man, I think it's like a 15-hour drive. I probably can't do that in one day, but we definitely will do it at least in a day and a half. But yeah, that's my tip. Get them in a bunch of little bins or snake bags and get a bigger bin, and then have that bin temperature controlled, whether that be via heating pack or a phase 22 pack, depending on what time of year. You said February, so it's going to be a little cold. So I'll do like a combination of phase 22 and heat packs, just making sure everyone's safe and sound. Maybe even doing multiple bins. It just all depends on how big your collection is. I have babies, though. I've heard that too, is pair bonding isn't a very safe route, because all of a sudden the females will lose interest in the male, and then again we'll just attack and try to kill them. I am so like tone deaf now to the birds, and it's only like certain times a day where I've realized that, wow, these birds are actually really loud. But I've had them for so long that I literally don't notice that they like squeak and squawk 24/7, and I just like block it out at this point. The only time I realize it is when I'm in bed at night editing the video, so I have my headphones on, and then I can hear every squawk, and I'm like, son of a bitch. There's no way. There's just no way to make content where you're not going to hear the birds. It's just impossible. I've tried. No on leopard geckos. I don't really like leopard geckos. We just have the one. I don't think I'll ever do leopard geckos. Banded geckos, potentially. Knobtails are cool. I'm thinking of frog-eyed geckos. Frog-eyed geckos are an awesome terrestrial. Pictus geckos seem to be a big thing in the gecko community. I'm going to look a little bit more into that. Cave gecko localities. I am looking into getting a lot more different cave geckos. So not just the standard Chinese, but I do want like Japanese cave geckos look incredible. There's a couple of other different locales that look wild too. So there's a lot of cave gecko stuff I want to do later on. I think my Chinese water dragon's more of a pet. Honestly, just thinking about it, I don't know how much you sell your Chinese water dragons for. In my mind, thinking about it, with like most lizards, the squeeze ain't worth the cut, or whatever the phrase is. It just seems like there's a lot more costs that go into not only taking care of the pair, but taking care of the eggs and taking care of the babies before they're sold. It just seems not worth it from a business sense. And I don't know. I think I'll leave the Chinese water dragons to you. Not saying I don't love my Chinese water dragon, but I'm just not that passionate about Chinese water dragons to really get into breeding. Frill dragons, maybe. I do really like my frillies. I might get a female frilly later in the future, but I think my male Chinese water dragon, it was only supposed to be a pet, and I think it's just going to stay as a pet for the time being. Shit, man, chat's going pretty high. We only got like 19 people. Thank you guys for making my life easier by chatting. That's pretty much what I did. Put all the animals in my vehicle in a bunch of bins. The big pain in the ass for me is not going to be the move and the drive. The big pain in the ass for me is going to be setting everything up. And I'll only be able to, I'll have like 48 hours, because obviously I'm just going to be thinking everything needs to get back into its home. Everything needs to be okay. That'll be the most difficult part, is like setting up every single enclosure again. The grow tents, the wooden bibs that we're doing right now. Oh, it's going to be a lot. I'm not really looking forward to it. I'm really not looking forward to it. Very cool. I just relocated to South Carolina. I've been here 4 months this month now. I plan on going to Repticon in Columbia, South Carolina, since it's about 1.5 hours away. I originally was thinking South Carolina because the climate's a little warmer, but you guys were assholes and you banned Tegu. So fuck South Carolina. I'm staying in North Carolina. Hopefully they don't ban Tegus. I've never been to. I've been to very little reptile shows, believe it or not. I'm a very big introvert. I don't go out very often. I honestly was really looking forward to going to more shows. I've really only been to the New Hampshire and the Maine show. Those have only been my 2 shows. I was really looking forward to White Plains. We had it all set up. We were going to do a road trip over to New York. Then COVID hit. Literally, COVID locked down 3 days before the White Plains show. And I have not been able to get up there since. So it was a bit of an annoyance. I do want to hit White Plains before we move. I heard great things about the White Plains show. I heard it's massive. Frog guys are cool. Leos are amazing, but probably not a good project. What about Vortex? I've never heard of Vorax geckos. There's so many. I was talking to Richie earlier, and when I told him, because he's like my gecko guy that I go to and talk about like with a variety of geckos, and he's like, it's so addicting, dude. You're gonna want like every species, and like every day I'm learning a different gecko that I'm like, I need that. I want to breed that. I want to have a bunch of those. Every day there's like a new little gecko species that I'm like, I have to get that. That's my next thing. Next 2 things on the list, I'll give you guys a little sneak preview. Next 2 things on the list for sure are going to be the northern spiny-tailed gecko and the Williams eye, the electric blue gecko. I might get those in 2022. Those might be 2 projects that I grab in 2022, but nothing else, nothing else. How's it going, Spicy Pizza? Hot take, Chinese water dragons look cooler than Australians. I'm just going to throw that out there. I say Australian. Wait, no. Chinese water dragons. I like the greens and the spikes better. Australians look cool. Chinese looks better. Way better. I'm going to piss people off with that one. Love your collection, your videos, man. Can't wait to have mine. Like a lot of people I see so far. I have Mangrove Monitor. A kakariki parrot? I've never heard of that parrot before. A kakariki parrot. Sudden giant plated lizards and the Chinese cave gecko. Chinese cave geckos are cool. I want to know what that parrot is. Kakariki. It almost looks like, you mean like kaik? You know, like kaiks. Kaiks are awesome. I want to get kaiks. I want to breed kaiks. I miss breeding birds so bad. I definitely want to breed birds again, breed like exotic parrots. That's a little farther out in the future, but I really do, I do miss it. I do miss it. Currently rolling a spliff. What kind of cigs, Dakota? I was a big hipster, and I did American Spirit blacks. I switched between blacks and blues because the blacks will fuck up my throat, But then blues started not being enough, so I switched over to the blacks. I like the American Spirits because you get to smoke them for like 10 minutes. But I haven't smoked a cigarette in almost a year. I've been just doing this thing now. I've heard it's better from you from a Netflix documentary. And now I go to my doctor and she's like, nah, vaping's worse now. And I'm like, well, I don't fucking know, dude. I need nicotine in some way, shape, or form. So I don't fucking know. Really depends on the show. I've been a few, and one of them was amazing. The others were horrible. Chinese water dragons were the lizard I saw at Petco as a kid that made me look into reptiles. You mentioned not hearing the birds anymore. It took me several minutes to notice that there are crickets chirping in your stream. Yeah, we got like, I don't know, 4,000 crickets just chilling like right next to me. So that's a thing. The only good thing about COVID was my sales. My 2020 sales were the best year I ever had. And I think it really launched DBCB Exotics pretty heavily into the market because like I couldn't keep anything in stock. And I'm still to this day, I'm not having too much of an issue. Yeah, electric blues are cool. I heard Frank Payne, Payne, Payne. I think it's Payne. I gotta say it's Payne. Yeah, I heard he's a good hookup for them. I need to get the money together. I spent literally every dime that I had. Unsubscribed. That's what I'm saying. Australian water dragons just look like an edgy fenced lizard, dude. Like, you can't mix... okay, so, yeah. Edgy fence dragon, they got, like, little edges, and they're like, oh, I'm so hardcore. Chinese water dragon, neon green, fluorescent green, giant spikes, this bedazzled-looking jowl, or under the chin. They got big, beefy jowls with some fucking spurs hanging out of it, and they got the cool raccoon stripe. Like, get the fuck out. Australian dragons are not better than Chinese water dragons. They're just less common, so everyone's like, yeah, Australians are way better. They're not. Chinese water dragons, way better looking. Oh, Jesus Christ, Spicy Pizza. It choked on its shed? Holy shit. I'm so sorry to hear that. I've never been a huge fan of mangroves. I think just because I've seen so many imports, and it's just I fall into the category of savannas and Niles because they're only like $100. A lot of people that don't know what they're doing get them, and it's just a bad time. I get so many people that try to shove their mangroves off on me, and I don't want to work with them. If you're able to manage and breed parrots, that's what I did for 3 years of my life. It's been 6 years. I just saw a picture on Facebook of me holding one of my hyacinth macaw babies that I raised up. I really miss doing that, man. I can't believe it's been 6 years since I've been doing that. It was a really fun time. It's awesome hand raising the birds and like teaching them to be like birds. It's really cool. It's like a step down from being like a biological like human parent. So I'll never be a parent, but birds are like the next thing I want to do. Honestly, I do think vaping's worse. My nicotine addiction has gone up so high. Like I could usually go like 3, 4, 5 hours without smoking a cigarette. Maybe like an hour actually, if I'm being honest with myself. But yeah, vaping is I have to hit this like every like more than 10 minutes, and I start like start getting like agitated. Oh well, the vaping industry got me with that Netflix documentary. I think my lungs feel worse. I think I cough more now, but I don't know. I guess I coughed a lot back then too. I also want to hit a Tinley show. Tinley's just so hard because it's so far away from me, and it's like, do I want to I have to find a sitter. I either have to drive 16 or 18 hours or get a plane ticket and then rent a car. It just seems like a lot. Minor red. Alex needs his eyes checked. Chad Chinese water dragon rant. Dude, they're just better. That's just there's no way you can tell me, oh, we've got Thomas over here. Hang on. Ooh, we got Thomas with another $5. Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate that. Dakota, ever think about doing a Google Hangout or Zoom video call so we can all talk live? You see, this is what happens. Like, I don't know where I put my vape out. There it is. And like, I'm like, ooh, where is it? Where is it? It's just tough. I don't know. It's the only, like, the whole thing is, like, I'm super busy with all the shit I've got going on right now. And the only reason why I can, like, justify doing live streams itself is because people are, like you, Thomas, are kind enough to super chat me. So it gives me a little bit incentive, or at least I know, like, oh, I can sit down and do this, but I still make a little bit of money. So it'd be hard just doing, like, a straight Google Hangout or Zoom call. Maybe for, like, Patreon members, I think that'd be a cool little perk. That might be something to think about. As far as, like, just regularly, I think it would be just too difficult to orchestrate. I think Patreon would make it a little bit easier on to do it. Jesus Christ. Bro, we're having a fucking water dragon war right now. Holy shit, I caught up with chat finally. That is incredible. Anyway. Yeah, it does sound like a good idea for Patreon. Maybe I'll do that. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? So let's talk about these geckos, man. I'll let the chat fill up again, and I'll read it in a minute. It's so hot and humid in here. Like, it's probably like 20 degrees outside, and it's, what is it? Yeah, it's like 80 degrees with like 50% humidity. It's wild, just in this room by itself. So geckos. So number one, I think 2022, I'm finally going to hit the milestone that I really want to do as a full-time breeder. And that's going to be, I believe, as long as I can breed everything successfully in some way, shape, or form, we are going to hit triple digits when it comes to eggs. So we should make over 100 eggs over here at DBCB Exotics. Now, when it comes to, like, you know, hatching the eggs and the babies, stuff does go wrong, but we should have somewhere around 100 babies to sell over here next year, which is going to be absolutely crazy. And now, with that being said, I need to think ahead because I don't want this to be a case of, oh shit, where do I put all these babies? So I have a new strat that I'm going to do. I see the chat and I'm like, what is that? I've got this new strat that I want to make sure I'm ahead of the game and that I have a spot for all these babies. So here's what we are going to do. Number one, this shelf. We're getting rid of these shelves that I just put up. And instead what I'm going to do is I actually recently just bought a giant shelf. I believe it is 8 foot by 2 foot by like 7 foot or something. It's like a 7-level shelf. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the entire Crested and Gargoyle project on that shelf. And it's going to be right here, actually, where I keep the live stream spot. So it's going to encompass this wall right here. And we'll be able to put the babies, the grow-outs, and the adults of the cave geckos, gargoyle geckos, and crested geckos all in this one spot right here. That opens up this wall right here, which is this spot. Now, this spot, I'm actually going to be bringing my Tokay geckos back in. Obviously, this year with Tokay geckos, we had a really bad year, and I've kind of been struggling with the Tokay geckos for a little bit. I've talked a lot to some other fellow breeders, like figuring out what am I doing wrong? Why is this not working? Like, I see so many other people having just way better success than I am. And I believe the two things that I'm doing wrong that is really going to help out, boost everything, is the fact that I'm not providing UVB, and I think I'm actually keeping them too hot. I know it's a little bit strange. So my room right there, or the Tokay Gecko grow tent room, is around 85 degrees ambient. So the entire room is encompassed at 85 degrees. So at that point, there's no thermal gradient for them to thermoregulate. There's no great temperature gradient for them to thermoregulate. So they're just stuck in this 82-degree room this entire time, which I think is speeding up the metabolism a little too much for them, due to the fact that I can't get them to put on weight. We've already dewormed them. We got the fecals back. They're all good. But they just don't grow as big as everyone else is, and I'm feeding them a lot of bugs. So at that point, here's my new tactic. So this room itself, we've already heated this room. There's a little space heater right there. This room is around, it's heated to 77 with the oil furnace heating going. It gets to about 80 degrees in here. So that's actually going to be perfect, getting that around like 75 to 80 at the top. What we are going to be doing is moving all of our Tokay geckos back in. They're going to go on this wall right here, and we're going to be using 36 or 48-inch UVBs. Now the UVBs themselves will double as a temperature gradient because that will heat up the basking spot at least a couple more degrees than what's your standard what I've been doing before. So they're going to have a bit of an area where it's a little bit hotter and then an area where it's going to be a little bit lower. Not also getting that UVB, but also having that temperature gradient, being able to thermoregulate. I think that's the key that we're missing here for a successful Tokay project. So that's what we're going to try. I believe we have 3 females that are going to be good to go in February for breeding. I have another female, but she's not looking so hot. She hasn't looked hot for a very long time, but we're keeping her steadily growing weight. And after a couple of vet appointments, she's been slowly getting a little bit better, a little bit more stronger, but I don't think she's going to be a breeder for 2022. She might just be a handicap, pet-only gecko for the rest of her life, which is fine. I like Tokays. I'll hang out with a Tokay. No big deal. But yeah, that's the thing. So then, not only are we going to have the gecko shelf right here, okay, Tokay shelf right here, which means that negates this shelf because we've got Tokay, cave gecko, 2 Tokays on the bottom. Those 2 Tokays, 3 Tokays, are going to be moved over here into this section of the wall. We're going to be taking these shelf units because we got a new shelf unit for the geckos, and we're going to be putting all those shelf units over here because, as you can see, the water heater is on this side, but it completely indents. And so this area right here will be for all of the babies that we're going to making. So I want a specific spot where I can have all the babies and I make sure I have enough room for all the babies. So that is the goal now. We just finished doing this room, and now I am tearing it up and doing it all over again to make sure that we have enough space to support all the new babies we're going to be getting. That is that's my game plan. Let's look at chat. I think we are right here. Yeah, it's right here. It's right here. I got my first gecko about 6 months after getting sober. I love these creatures are definitely just as addictive. Yeah, I was the same way. I got my first bearded dragon after I think I was like 2 or 3 months sober. And I haven't looked back since. Reptiles have been such a huge help in being like a recovering addict and not wanting. I mean, not only do I have like 0 cash to go out and buy stuff, but I just, it gives you a sense of responsibility. And it's one of those things like I can't go fuck up because not only do I have my life to worry about, but I have the lives of all these animals around me that depend on me 24/7. It's been a huge advocate for me staying clean for all these years. I think I just crossed my 6th year of sobriety. It's in October, so yeah, I think it's been 6 years, maybe 7. No, 7 years. It's been 7 years now. That's crazy. Favorite substrate for geckos? I don't really have a preferred substrate. I just kind of use whatever. I like what do they call it? The Freedom Breeder blocks, the cocoa blocks from Freedom Breeder. I like those a little bit. They seem to mold kind of fast, but other than that, I like that they're kind of chonky and they do hold humidity pretty well, but the molding thing is kind of annoying. I hate Eco Earth. I hate coconut fiber. I don't think anyone should use that. They're trash. Repti soil is just an expensive alternative to mixing it yourself. You can just get topsoil, peat moss, and orchard bark and charcoal. That's literally all it is, and mix it, and you have the exact same thing as Repti soil, but you saved yourself like 20 bucks. So topsoil is another great choice. And then when it's breeding season, I just use straight paper towels or newspaper. Not newspaper, butcher paper, but mostly it's paper towels. Just so I need to make sure they lay in their little laying cup, because sometimes crested geckos are really dumb and they'll lay it in the substrate and I don't find it, and then I lose eggs that way. Peanut butter breath and Gorilla Glue. You're welcome. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I've noticed it's done really well with the day geckos. as far as I don't really need to add any more of a bat. Like I do have a little thing for my standing eye, just because standing eyes like it pretty hot. But as far as the other stuff goes, I found that this having ambient heats in the higher 70s and adding a UVB bar, you're good. You don't even need to add an extra basking spot at that point, or extra basking bulb, which is awesome because I hate heat bulbs. They burn out so much, so fast. That is my biggest expense over here, is just replacing heat bulbs constantly. Oh man, so kind of sad news. I don't think I actually ever talked about this, so I'll talk about it right now. One of Oddball Babies actually passed. It was wicked sad. I don't know what happened. They were fine for about, I want to say, the first 4 to 5 weeks, right? And then one day I did my little weekly check on them, and they looked very skinny, like pretty skinny. Not like emaciated, but not looking good. You could kind of, the spine was a little bit more pronounced, which was like, okay, I need to remove these guys. I need to get them in their own homes. My only thought process, I guess I have two trains of thought. Either because it's a 29-gallon. Either the crickets were, because they're small for babies. Either the crickets were hiding someplace that the babies could not find them, and they weren't big enough to get like the big crickets that I feed the adult Tokay, the mom. Either that, or the mom was eating those small crickets and the big crickets, not giving any to her babies. Maybe she's just a shit mom. I don't know. So he ended up moving them. The one did eventually pass a couple of days later, but the other one is gaining weight and looking a lot better. I'm super sad about that. That really, really sucked that we lost one of Oddball's babies. We still have one. It's getting better. I think it's going to make it and go strong, but yeah, that was not a fun night. That was a really disappointing night to find out that one of the babies passed. Yeah, frillies are awesome. I really like frill dragons. Hey, thanks everyone for the congrats. That's what I'm saying. NA and AA, you just need to like, hey, everyone, go get a reptile. Good to go. 100% success rate. Deep heat projector. Oh, is that the one from Arcadia? I haven't checked that out. Par 38 floods, depending on the species, it's anywhere from 25, 45, and 75 watts, or they're, replace it. So I use 90 watts alternative, which gives me 75 watts. I'll use a 75 watt alternative, which is about 60 watts. And then I believe it's like a 35 watt alternative, which gives me like 25 watts or something like that. But yeah, I do, I don't remember the brand. I just know they're Par 38 floods. It's the usual, whatever brand everyone else uses. So thankful that my CBB Tokay baby will eat from a dish and talk. Eating from a dish is a fucking Hail Mary. I think 2 out of my like 20 will only eat from a dish, and no one else seems to like realize that there's food in there. It's really annoying. So I have to use mainly crickets as their diet. Because of that. I've tried roaches, but they just burrow, and the Tokays just don't seem interested in any roaches. Most overrated pets you've owned. Oh, geez, I'm gonna hurt some feelings. Let's take a thought. Let's take a little thought. Most overrated pet that I've owned. I would have to say, I mean, I guess I have a few that are like, I mean, they're cool. I'll keep them. I'll always keep them. I'll always have them, but they're kind of like whatever. Oh man. I think bearded dragons have to be the biggest one because like everyone raves about bearded dragons and they kind of don't do much. Like I have a giant enclosure for my beardie. She doesn't really do much. They brumate, which is an annoying thing. There's a lot of things. They're more of a difficult reptile to take care of than people want to like lead you to believe. Leopard gecko is a little bit annoying as well. Not annoying, but just like overrated because again, it's just kind of like, oh, it's like a gecko, whatever. It's friendly, cool. I don't know. I think those are like my biggest two, like overrated, not really like awesome pets. But I mean, you know, I own like Quince and Argus monitors. You can't really like, I don't know, you can't compare them. The excitement and just the overall stuff you're going to get out of those two are just vastly different. Best hack you can use in this hobby is buying supplies at the hardware store. So much cheaper without the reptile logo. Yep, I barely get anything that is like reptile label. Actually, I don't think I get anything. I think the cocoa blocks are the only thing I've gotten in quite a while that's been reptile stuff. Oh my god, I can't, Brad. I can't wait to show you guys that video because I totally played it like a surprise. I told her. I don't want to give too much away because it's a very fun video, but I told her it was like some sort of gecko project. And like, oh, I can't remember what geckos are in here, but like, come do an unboxing with me for these geckos. And so like the whole time she thought they were geckos until she opened it and realized it was not a gecko. It was something else. That's something we'll talk about. I think I'll post that video a little bit later in the month, like closer to Christmas, because it was supposed to be like a Christmas present. So I think that'll be a good video for that time. But yeah, it was pretty funny. I might just edit it because it's an enjoyable video, and I might post it on Patreon for everyone to watch because it's a good one for sure. I really like it. See, I don't use dubias. I use red runners and lobsters. Dubias are just too annoying to keep up with, and I don't like having to I don't know. I don't like the husbandry needs that dubia roaches need. So I just do lobsters and red runners, and they procreate a lot faster. What do you think is the most underrated popular What do you think is the most underrated popular reptile? I think I'd go with blue tongues. Blue tongues are really rad, and they're really outshined by the bearded dragon. I think their care is a little bit easier. I think them being omnivores and being able to eat potentially a not insect-based diet or a not live diet, you can get them off on certain proteins with like dog food. There's like blue tongue specific diets that people use. You can go with the raw diets mixed with veggies. There's a lot more you can do with the blue tongue as far as diet goes that can negate the live feeders that you need. And I just think they're more of an interesting pet. Maybe that's because I've owned my blue tongue for only a couple of years. And I've owned my bearded dragon for like 6 years now. So I don't know if that's the difference, but so far I have a better time with my blue tongue overall. What are you feeding the young Yoshi right now? Young Yoshi gets crickets. I'll throw in some crickets. I'll throw in, I was doing black soldier fly larvae for a minute, some mealworms occasionally, and roaches as well. So he gets a nice variety of all different stuff. He's growing pretty big at this point. He's gotten like a lot bigger than how he usually was. Oh man. Speaking of, I'm just thinking like how much my back hurts right now, and having to move all of those tanks all over again is going to be a really big headache. But it's got to get done. I'll just be in like agony. I probably won't do that on Saturday, but I'll probably move them. Well, I need to wait for these UVB bulbs to come in. But Tokays will probably move in next week, and the crested geckos will be moved probably tomorrow. I'll get that situated and get them all good and ready to go. 4:34. No, I might pack it in a little bit early. I mean, you know, This live stream kind of got a little bit screwed up with YouTube. Fucking, I don't know why. I kept saying like it couldn't find my webcam, but I'd open like my web camera app on my laptop, and it goes right down there, and you're good. So I don't know. I don't know what the problem is, but YouTube kind of fucked up this whole thing and made me do mobile like on top of a live stream I already had scheduled, which was a big bummer. Yeah, the doctor told me the doctor has like a whole stretching regimen. I'm pretty sure I either slipped a disc or I pinched my sciatic nerve. But they want to do x-rays, and I'm uninsured, so I don't want to do x-rays, so we'll never know. I'll just be in agony until I get insurance again. Which I don't know will be ever. I mean, I guess if like DBCB Exotics gets pretty big, maybe I'll end up getting private insurance, but until then, who knows when Dakota Burke will be insured again. I might get on well, I don't know. Who knows what the insurance part lasts. I got too much other stuff to worry about than worrying about, you know, my health and safety and well-being. Alrighty, folks, I think we are going to close it up here. I'm getting tired. I'm running out of stuff to talk about. And yeah, so this was the Friday live stream. We'll probably do another next Friday. Hopefully I have a little bit more energy. I'm going to go eat a hamburger that I had yesterday, but I kept half, so now I can eat another half. Do you think YouTube Premium accounts affect your income based on there's no ads? Yeah, YouTube Premium really fucks over creators. So how the YouTube Premium account works is, so you pay $13, right? So I think it's like $13. I have a YouTube Premium account as well. I don't know how much I pay. It auto does it. It's whatever. So YouTube pockets like $3, right? So that leaves $10. And how it works, it's something around those lines. And so how it works is, however many videos you watch that month, those $10 get split among all of those creators. So if you watch, like, if you just watch me for like the full month, I'll get those $10. But if you watch like 100 videos for like 20 different creators or 50 different creators, everyone gets like $1 for that month. It's kind of how it works. It fucks over the creators, but I don't think that many people have YouTube Premium because no one wants to pay for it. I pay for it because I'm on YouTube like 24/7. You inspired me, Dakota. Well, I'm glad I can inspire someone. Don't take too much confidence, because at the end of the day, I am just a boy that has a very, very rough past. And if I can do this, I've made this business out of literally three geckos, Pebbles, Xena, and then Spots. That's how this whole thing started, and now it's here. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. You just have to persevere and have enough patience to keep it going. You'll have good years, you'll have bad years, but as long as you keep moving on, you'll make it, just like hopefully I make it. We're not there yet, but hopefully 2022 is going to be another rough year. I think we're going to be pretty close to like being okay. Like 2021 was a really rough year. I basically, you know, I'll be honest with you guys, I've been living in like poverty while doing my dream. There's been a lot of times where like bills have been very tough, and it's been kind of like, oh, are we going to keep the electric on? Are we going to get some food? So there's been a lot of those choices this year. 2022 will be a little bit better. I think we're going to start having an easier time in my life in 2022. And then 2023, now that we have all these holdback crested geckos, I believe we have 8 that we're growing out. At that time, like 2023, 2024, I think we'll be making enough money where I can start living comfortably and getting those, like, you know, luxuries like health insurance and things of that nature. But until then, it's literally just, you know, doing what you got to do to get through. And, you know, if you want to make your dream come true, this is the reality of it. Living in a dinky trailer, not having very many luxuries and stuff that you really want, missing out on a lot of stuff in your life, and just really focusing on the project. I don't go out very often. My head's in the reptile room, or it's on YouTube trying to figure out how to make everything better and how to make myself more successful and making everything just a little better through life. I did the same thing, man. I was just a couple of geckos, like 10 reptiles, living off in my parents' basement. I drove my credit to the shit. I mean, I started up here in New England with literally nothing at the age of 19. Not a dime to my fucking name. My credit score was like 400, maybe even 300. It was shit. I was in thousands of dollars in debt with multiple like apartment complexes and electricity bills because I was just hopping from place to place. Yeah, so, but, you know, I don't know. The choice I'm getting at, or really what I'm trying to drive home is it doesn't take someone special to do it. Like, it's not like I'm a different breed of person, or it's not like I grew up with money to kickstart this and get it going. Like, I started from the bottom and I made this with, I started this business with probably $300 invested with the 2 geckos. I had 2 pet geckos already that were nice tiger dowels. I did spots for $180, bins, some food, and some substrate medium for the eggs. That's how I started out, and now I've been able to grow it into now having over 100 animals. So it's not about having a bunch of money in your pocket. It's not about coming from money. It's literally the 90% of it, I gotta say. 90% or the majority of it is just perseverance and just sticking strong through the bad times and keeping it going. Because a lot of people, just like I did with the ball pythons, a lot of people do that with the breeding in general, where they get into it, they don't have a great year. My first year was awful. I think I sold 2 geckos. I was like hundreds of dollars in debt with the business. I was losing money probably the first 2 years I started this. I've been losing money consistently. Now with this 3rd year, we are kind of at the top where we're kind of like maybe losing still a bit in debt, maybe just even. I need to go look through my books. And then next year is when we're going to have a good time. So however you want to do it, I personally wouldn't start out with going full-time so early. I think that was a mistake on my part. You're going to have not a fun life. If that's the case, it's going to be very difficult for you. But I don't know. I think the big thing is just keeping strong, not giving up after you have that bad year. If you can't sell some animals your first year, your second year, just keep it going. Those animals now hold back. Those animals are going to be breeders in 2 years. Always flip it as a positive and keep going strong. And you can find some sort of success anywhere in this hobby, no matter like what you're interested in. There's room for everyone. I mean, there's room for still so much growth in the hobby. So yeah, I don't know. Just do it, stand by it, and you're good to go. I think that's my my outing message here. My throat hurts. I'm talking so much. Thank you guys so much for coming by. We'll see you next time. Check out the video that will be out tomorrow. It's about Christmas presents for reptile keepers. It'll be very fun.